Que paso, fam? Kool-Aid, the Nerd King here, or if you know me by my government name, DeAnte, and I play Zero on BigD&D. Zero is a half-elf bard who loves to adventure for treasure and is all about the party. So I'm a half-elf, which is half human and half elf. And I really resonate with that because it's like you've got 1 foot in reality and 1 foot in fantasy. And it's kind of a lot like me, you know, I see myself as half hood, half illegal alien science. You feel me? So I really resonate with the character. Bards are the lifeblood of the party. They've got all the energy. They've got the artisan power. They've got persuasion. They've got, you know, musical inclination. Some schools of thought say that the multiverse was created with words, right? It was spoken into existence. Well, if that is true, then bards are that voice embodied, you know? Lads, pull up a chair, tell you a tale. Nah, I'm joking. I was really blessed. I started playing D&D a little bit in college. I saw some seniors, actually, they were playing in the library, and I slid through. I was like, yo, what y'all getting into? And they were like, yeah, we're playing D&D. And so I was like, man, you know, let me check this out. So I, heard of D&D back in the day in the 70s from old cats and stuff, character sheets, all of that stuff, storytelling. I was like, okay, cool. And just to see it in person, it was nuts. So they let me play a little bit, and that was it. And then I think years later, a friend of mine was starting a campaign, and I was like, dude, let me play. So I want to say I've been kind of playing off and on for less than 4 years in like different parts of time. So that would technically make me, I would say, a fresh intermediate, you know? Man, what is there not to love about D&D? My biggest love about D&D is that you don't have to have status to play. It doesn't matter your background, it doesn't matter if you're rich, it doesn't matter if if your father or your mother's famous. I think living in the society we live in now, it's about a lot of access is about your socio-economical status. And so at D&D, that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're poor. It doesn't matter if your lights are off. It doesn't matter if you don't got gas in the tank. Like, you could be whatever you want. If you want to be a rich aristocrat, you totally can. I mean, if you want to be a wizard with, a treasure hoarding problem, you can. You can do whatever you want, and money isn't an issue, It's how rich your mind is. Man, BigD&D gave me a chance to be normal. I think quarantine came and destroyed whatever ideas of social interaction we had. So we were kind of like little prisons almost. But no, it was a lot. It took away from the connectivity of the community. And somebody who's very connected to the community, I'm very tactile. I touch my people, I dap them up, I hug, I laugh, I kiss, I do all this stuff. And so to not have that, it was killing me inside, man. So I always wanted to play D&D, my own campaign, after having those other experiences. So I reached out to some friends and I was like, look, I want to do this with y'all because I know y'all are feeling captive like I am. And the outcome was so beautiful. It was so positive, and everyone's like, yeah, we need this. So BigD&D saved my life during the pandemic, man. It gave me my life back. BigD&D is, I want to say BigD&D is the looking glass into the community of nerddom that I'm in personally. I've been a nerd since the umbilical cord, man. So, I've seen things, been through a lot of things, but what I don't see in the successful mainstream media is actual representation of what the nerddom looks like where I'm at. Here in Dallas, you've got nerds of all different backgrounds, different colors, different, religious standpoints, different mind states, and you don't see a lot of that with the finished product of D&D virtually. And no hate to the nerd community in any way, shape, or form, but you only really see one type of nerd or two types of nerds, and that's it. And that's not true. We come in all different sizes, colors, ideals, and everything. And so I wanted to create a place where I could share this love of nerddom with my community, but also share that love and that vision with other people to see like, yo, there are nerds out there that look like you who are doing the thing and are being very successful at the thing. And this needs to be that light, that beacon to show people, you know, what love and real diversity looks like in the nerd community. That's what BigD&D is. If you don't watch BigD&D, they're gonna come to my home and they're gonna burn it down. While I'm in the shower, I won't be able to do anything about it. If you're looking to laugh, watch BigD&D. If you are looking to do something you've never done before, watch BigD&D. If you want to support people in a time where you feel like humans need support, watch BigD&D. If you want to support people that don't look like you, or you find yourself going, man, I really want to support people who don't look like me, watch BigD&D. Watch BigD&D. Go on this journey with us. Go on this adventure. Laugh, have a good time, think, grow. I mean, change your life. Let BigD&D change your life.